Hey, what's going on, y'all? As y'all can see by the thumbnail, I'm going to show y'all how to remove anything from your credit report. I don't care if it's a late payment, a repossession, an eviction, a collection, a charge-off, student loans. It doesn't matter what it is because anything can come off your credit report. See, what most people are telling you guys is if you send in a dispute letter, it's going to remove all your negative items. And I'm here to tell you that that is a complete lie. And the reason why I'm telling you guys that that is a lie is because we got clients results like this, like this, like this, like this, and even all of these. And guess what? I can go on and on and on about the results that all my clients have gotten. Now, this method is so good, it even got us interviewed by this guy. This guy is Daniel Rosa, and he owns the #1 credit repair software in the world. And just so you know, our dispute methods are so good that we got contracted by this law firm out of Tampa, Florida called Swift Law. And we also work with other lawyers, and we take on clients that they have too. So with that being said, I'm going to give you my step-by-step disputing method that we use to get our results. And on top of that, if you stay to the end, I got a very special surprise for you. But before we get into this video, I want you to send this video to 5 people that you love and that you want to share this secret with. And without further ado, let me get on my computer so I can show you the step-by-step method. All right, guys. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the ultimate disputing guide. All right. So what I did was I took the methods from Dave's video and I put it on this board. And what I want to do is I want to show you guys the step-by-step process. And as promised, you know, I gave you a promise that I'm going to show you something special at the end if you stay to the end, and it's going to be amazing. So without further ado, let me go through every step. Now, this ain't going to be like a normal video. This is going to be a video where you might have to watch it multiple times, but this should answer everybody's questions, because what I did was I went through the comments and I saw everybody's questions, seen the most frequent questions that everybody was asking. So I think the most important thing was people wanted to know if this works for evictions, collections, charge-offs, late payments, and stuff like that. And it was like, overall, does this work for me? And what I did was I came up with the ultimate guide because everybody thinks, well, when you get the free secret letter, because that's part of the process, when you send off your first letter, that's a part of the process. But the magic happens in the follow-up, because you already know that the credit reporting agencies, they really don't do an investigation. Now, as being a credit repair specialist, I have plenty of clients that I helped in the past. They sent me information over and I seen the information. They're like, hey, we use this system to verify this information. But I also got court documents with my lawyer friends, and they said, hey, this isn't enough information for them to verify your information. So now I was like, okay, cool. So all we have to do is bridge the gap to both worlds. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share you the ultimate dispute guide. Okay, so without further ado, let me back up a little bit and I'm going to go through. So all right, let me get to this part. So, dream outcome. Now, what your dream outcome is to have a 700 plus credit score, and you want to get the house of your dreams, you want to get the car of your dreams, you probably want to get funding for your business, or you might just want to overall have good credit, because we know with good credit, we can be flexible, we can get what we want. But there's rules to the game, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to expose the rules that the top 1% of people play, and they don't use cash for anything. They either use investment or they use credit. So what we need to do is we need to get a 750 plus. Now, a lot of you guys say, hey, I want a 700. But if you remove all the negative items from your credit report, and then you just have a credit card that is at 0% utilization, maybe 1% utilization, your credit score is going to automatically jump to like a 750. So that's why I put 750 plus. Okay, so now we get down to the first thing you got to do is you got to get your credit reports. Now I have 2 branches coming off of get your credit reports, and then we're going to go through them. So most people try to get their credit reports. I'm going to say the cheap way, because I don't know how else to explain it. So most people go to Credit Karma and they try to get their credit reports. And this is why this is so important and so impactful, is because Credit Karma don't show you all the information on your credit report. Okay. So you can use Credit Karma Credit Karma to kind of gauge what you want to do or what you want to get with your credit report. And that is okay for that side of it. But as far as disputing, you can't do that either. So with banks will give you what they call the Vantage 3.0 score, and they'll probably give you one score and they don't have no data on it as well. And then some banks like Navy Federal has an internal scoring system. So that internal scoring system, that don't help you at all. And then I guess any other free method that I ran across, it simply does not work. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go back here and we want to get our credit report from someplace like Identity IQ. We're going to have more sponsors or something like that. Like if you can't get Identity IQ, I might have a link below to where you can get something else, and it doesn't have to be Identity IQ, but this is what we want to have. Okay, so the reason why we get Identity IQ is, let's go down to this next one. We want to analyze our credit reports. Okay, so once you analyze your credit reports, you will see the difference between Credit Karma. I challenge you right now, go to Credit Karma and then look at your credit reports and then go to Identity IQ. You'll see something like this. These are what we call differences. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, which most of you are, we got over 1,000 new people. So what we're going to do is we got to mark up your credit report. We actually have to analyze all the inaccuracies. So I'm going to go here and let's get this pen out. And we're going to highlight some things. We can use that yellow. Let's use red. Okay. So what we want to do is, and we've seen this question a lot. When you make your dispute letter, you can use these account numbers. Okay, just use the account numbers you got. They might be different, they might be the same. Okay, they might be a little bit off, but they're generally the same. Use you don't have to use these little dots, but I do. You know what I'm saying? So you can just put XXX. So what you want to do is you want to make sure every different type of thing, every account detail is there. So any one of these things are wrong or off, you can get it removed. So there's ample amount of things you can do or look at to remove your accounts. Okay, so I wish I could write numbers down here. So all of these different things actually play a factor, and they mean different things. Even these down here, boom, boom, boom. And as you can see, this is a Navient account. Okay, so let's go back to the highlighter and let's highlight some things that are inaccurate. And then I want you to do it for yourself too. So I want you to watch this video and then I want you to watch it back over with your credit report open so you can see. So as you can see, $0, $0, $6. We finally found our first thing that we can dispute over, and that is monthly payments. Okay. Now let's go down and let's see some other things. So this one says 118, 101, 101. All right, so now working with the lawyer, you wouldn't be able to sue over this, but this is something that you can use to dispute. And later on in the video, I'm going to show you exactly what you should be doing. So balance, boom, boom, boom. So this is clearly inaccurate. Okay, so 0, 300, 300. Y'all get the drift, right? So without further ado, I want to kind of move on. I want to move a little bit faster into what really matters. Okay, so what really matters, past due balance. Because what's going to happen is when you go get a loan or you try to get funding or something like that, they look at the past due balance. And then also this right here, this is very, very inaccurate. 180 days late, 120 days. Okay, these two are so close to where Experian might be reporting on the 15th and Equifax might be reporting on the 1st. That's okay. But this is not okay. This is absolutely not okay. This cannot happen. That cannot be reported as current if it is not current. All right. Now, what happened with this account is the client already disputed this account, right? And that's why I'm making this video, because This client already disputed this account on their own. Now they don't have the resources or the tools or the knowledge to do what I'm about to do. So if you already got your information, if you already sent your information in and told me it was wrong, then they clearly got to do your investigation. So let me scoop down here because I want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. I want to show you these laws right here. These laws right here. Let me highlight these laws real quick. And the reason why I want to highlight these laws for you is because these are the top 3 laws we use to get the deletions. And that has nothing to do with the first letter that you sent off. This is the follow-up. But I'm going to go through the whole process. All right. So we've seen that the information is in the comments or the payment status. Okay. So as we can see, I'm gonna use black pen. Sorry. I'm gonna use red. Okay. So as we see, something's going on here, right? Something's going on here. Now, what could have happened is they could have paid their bills. Okay. So when you pay your bills, they're supposed to be reporting on time. So that's going to be something that the client can work with an attorney with, but we can also use that as well. Okay. So this is okay. This is good. Now, this is where it gets really crazy. You have a 90-day late, which what you guys probably don't know is 90-day late is the first thing. Like you would never see a 30-day late on a educational loan, on a student loan. So you start with 90 days. That's okay. All right. So this might be a small inaccuracy that might be reported on the 15th and it's reported on the 1st. No harm, no foul. But this is where it messes up. All right. You got a blank spot here. And you got 2 blank spots here. All right. And then you got a 150-day late and a 180-day late. And these didn't change at all. No way. No, we can't have that. Okay. So let's keep moving. Now, this is just an educational account. So let's go to some tri-merged accounts so we can see. So I'm going to show you each one of these, and each one of these are different so you guys can see what the difference is. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in. So also pull your credit reports. And when you pull your credit reports, come back to this video. Okay. So this is how you should be writing up your letters. This is how you should be drawing your accounts. This information, after the secret letter, okay? After the secret letter, you want to send this in as your evidence when we do our CFPB complaints, when we do our FTC complaints, when we do our BBB complaints, and when we do our Attorney General complaints, okay? So, and I'm going to show you why. So come back to this video after I show y'all those 3 laws that I got at the bottom. Those 3 laws is what helps us do what we do as credit repair specialists and how we get good results for our clients. So also, information is inaccurate. This is, I believe, a good account. Last reported might be a little off. And then you got your collection account. So as you can see, circled the information that is wrong, last reported. Okay, that's right. Now, if it's last reported, then why is the last activity wrong? So that's why you circle these 2 at the same time, date open and stuff like that. Okay. All right, let's go here. Last account, credit collection. We actually sued them one time. All right, so the date open is clearly wrong. Last reported, and then date of last activity. Date of last activity actually affects how long something stays on your credit report. So if the date of last activity is wrong, it could affect your statute of limitations, which is 7 years or 5 years in certain places. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to follow the thread. Now, make your letters. Now, this is where people get hung up. This is where a lot of people make their mistakes and a lot of people don't know what to do. All right. So if you're new to the channel, then, I just really want you to pay attention here. Okay. So what we have is we got what we call the new secret letter. So if this video gets over 1,000 likes, I'm going to drop the new secret letter and I'll drop it for absolutely free. Because it's so easy to send your first letter. Your first letter, just make sure my information is 100% accurate. And what I feel like a lot of people mess up at is a lot of people don't even know how to format their letter to the credit bureaus. And that's completely understandable. This is probably your first time doing this. Probably your first time seeing me or seeing the channel. So with that being said, we'll give this letter away for free. Just hit the like button and then we can get on to it. All right, so what else did I have off of this? Make your own letters. So I have something down below for you guys. Now, this is the most important part that a lot of people don't tell you guys. A lot of people will say, hey, use this, use that. But this is the #1 reason why we get the results we get, is because your disputes won't be taken serious unless you send your letter certified. I don't have an inside man at the credit bureaus, but all I know is that every single dispute doesn't get handled. Every single dispute is not looked at in the way that it should be looked at. But if you do send it certified, you get to actually track your package. And let me go here so I can show y'all exactly what I mean. So this right here was a letter I sent to a debt collector for one of my clients. I should have had the results off to the side. So I just sent this simple letter and I sent it certified. Okay. And once I send that letter certified, the client actually got a deletion from this letter right here. All this letter said is, I can't pay this debt. And that information got deleted in like 5 days. Okay. So with that being said, make sure to send all your letters certified, because once you send your letter certified, it's going to be taken serious. I'm almost certain that they put it maybe in a different pile. So I sent this letter to Transworld Systems for one of my clients, and then they got the results they wanted. And then next, like I said, you got to track your mail. So this is a tracking number from UPS. So what you do is after you send the certified envelope, it actually tells you when the letter got there, and then you can actually start your 30-day window. Now, one of the laws I'm going to talk about is 30 days to respond to a dispute. So if you send a certified mail, you'll actually have the time to, you'll actually have the information available to you. So when you send it to them, it'll tell you when it got there. So your item has been delivered and is available at the PO box on September 19th. All right. So boom, boom, boom. So now we got our tracking history. So if they take too long to respond to us, then when we do our CFPB complaint, then we can get it removed just because they didn't respond to us in time. Now, what would you rather do? Would you rather learn some complicated methods to try to remove your information, or would you just simply have tracking and then use that tracking information to remove your information, remove your negative items? So hypothetically, I owe $100,000 to this collection agency, and they're trying to get my money. So I send them a letter, and they respond back in 2 months. But then I go to CFPB and say, hey, they didn't respond back in enough time. Now they removed the information from my credit report. Now I don't have that $100,000 worth of debt on my credit report. All right. Now, this is really important. After you send your letter, we want to wait 35 days. Why do we want to wait 35 days? We want to wait 35 days because there's certain laws in the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that the debt collectors, the collection agencies, anybody who's reporting on you, they have to follow. So I'm going to kind of go into it a little bit. And like I said, this video is going to be long because it's going to tell you exactly step by step, like how we was able to work with the top law firms and how we were able to be interviewed by the top credit repair software companies, and how we were able to create different relationships with people in the credit repair space. Is because we're thorough with what we do, you know? So for those of you who want to be thorough with what you do, you got to learn. Okay. So the reason why I say wait 35 days is because, if you send your letter off, they got 30 days to respond. Hold on, let me bring up my highlighter real quick. Bring up my highlighter. Okay. So, all right. All right. So we're not going to read this first part right here. We're going to start right here. If the completeness or accuracy of any item of information contained in the consumer's file at the consumer reporting agency is disputed by the consumer and the consumer notifies the agent directly, that means you send it to the credit bureaus, or indirectly, which means you can send it to the CFPB, BBB, or whatever. You can send it to anybody. Or indirectly through a reseller of such dispute, the agency shall free of charge conduct a reasonable investigation. Reasonable investigation. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit later, okay? So they got to conduct a reasonable investigation to determine whether the disputed information is inaccurate and record the status of the disputed information, okay? They got to record the status, the current status, okay, of the disputed information, or they can delete it from the file. Okay, so a lot of people come to us and they say, hey, the information just updated, but over here, we don't care if the information is updated because I'm going to show you 3 laws to where you can get it removed, even if it's updated, even if it's accurate. Okay, so before the end of the 30-day period beginning, okay, so before the end of a 30-day period beginning on the date which the agency receives the notice of the dispute from the consumer or reseller. So that's why we want to wait 30 days, okay? So the reason why we want to wait 35 is because simply it takes time, okay? So it takes time for the information to get to where it needs to get to. It takes time, okay? So let me tell you what happens and why you guys aren't getting results. It's because you're not waiting, and then they're adding extensions. They're adding extensions on your investigations. So let's read that. Extension period to reinvestigate. So except as provided in subchapter C, the 30-day period described in paragraph A, so it's 30-day period here, may be extended for not more than 15 additional days if the consumer reporting agency receives additional information. Now all right. So if they receive information from the consumer, they can give you 15 more days. Man, they can extend you for 15 additional days. Okay? If you send in something and it's relevant to the reinvestigation, if it's relevant to the reinvestigation, they're going to add additional time on your investigation period. Now, a lot of people say, hey, man, I follow the steps. I'm not getting the results. It's because, number one, you're sending a letter to the CFPB. You're sending a letter to the BBB. You're sending a letter to the Attorney General. You're writing letters. You're emailing letters. You are adding time on your disputes. Do not add time on your disputes. So if you're going to send all these different letters, if you're going to use all these different systems, just make sure you give them the proper time, okay? Now, I know that's a lot. All right, let's go down. Now, get response or get deletions. Now, this is what I was talking about. So in my community, we teach people this information. So we have a group community where we teach people how to get their deletions. I'm going to leave the link down to it below. If you made it this far in the video, then you really want your results, because I did not make this video short for a reason. I do not want people who are not serious about their credit repair journey, okay? So get a response or get a deletion. So if you get a deletion, cool. If the accounts come back verified, we're going to find my top 3 violations, okay? Hey, what's going on, y'all? Sorry for the interruption. Real quick, though, we have about 40,000 new people who are watching our content, and we're grateful to bring all this information to you guys. But what we found out is only 25% of you guys are subscribed, so it really takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos. So if you can just like and subscribe, it'll help push our information out to a broader audience, and we can help more people. With that being said, thank y'all guys so much for watching the content. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other side of good credit. Peace. Now, this is where the magic happens, because once you find your top 3 violations, you can just pick and choose which one that the credit bureaus didn't find, okay, or didn't follow. So you can use EB, you can use S-2B, or you can use IA5. What happens is, if it comes back verified, you can then implement any of these 3. So what happens if one don't work? You can just go to another one. And if that one don't work, you just go to another one, okay? And if all three of these don't work, I guarantee, well, I can't guarantee. If all three of these don't work, then you could just hire a lawyer, and I'm going to tell you how to do that at the end, okay? So let's erase some of this stuff. Cool. Erase that, erase that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into these laws so you can use them yourself, okay? And you can use these with the CFPB. So first thing you got to do is you got to send your letter first. And once they come back either verified or deleted, then you'll come down here, right? Because a lot of people don't know what to do after this. People on the internet won't tell you what to do because they don't know what to do. They say, hey, send this letter, and then everything's going to come off. And if it comes back verified, they never tell you what to do. I challenge you to find somebody to tell you what to do after your information comes back verified. You won't find it. All right. So let's talk about 15 USC 1681 EB. Now, what you can do is you can fact check me. You can just look that up yourself. If you type in this information, you're going to see this as well, okay? Okay, so accuracy of report. Whenever a consumer reporting agency prepares a consumer report, it shall follow reasonable procedures to assure maximum possible accuracy of the information concerning the individual about to whom the report relates. Okay, cool. So they got to follow a reasonable procedure. What procedure do they have to follow? I don't know the procedure. You don't know the procedure, but you can ask what procedure they use. If they can't get that information, then they violated your rights. You can go straight to a consumer lawyer after this right here. If you can find one in your state that will take your case that, probably want to take a case where somebody ain't going to pay them up front because, you might not want to pay, but they shall follow reasonable procedures. So you don't have to know what the procedure is. You can just straight up ask them. So again, 15 USC 1681 EB. And I'll just keep that one short. Now let's go to this next one. 15 USC 1681 S-2B. And again, I'm going to read it for you. I'm going to read it with you so you can understand, because a lot of people are going to tell you to dispute and they're not going to tell you everything that comes with it. Okay. So, all right. So responsibilities of furnishers of information to consumer reporting agencies. Now this is directly, geared to people who report the information. So if you got a collection, that collection agency better be on top of their game because they got to follow these rules. If it's an original creditor, if it's a dealership, if it's a bank, if it's anybody that is reporting on you, they got to report this information 100% accurate and 100% correct. Okay. All right. So the duty of the furnisher of information to provide accurate information. Okay. So reporting information with actual knowledge of errors. Y'all feel me? Reporting information with actual knowledge of errors. A person shall not furnish any information related to a consumer or any consumer reporting agency if the person knows or has reasonable cause to believe the information is inaccurate. If they think it's inaccurate or you tell them it's inaccurate and they have reasonable procedures to see, if they have reasonable cause to believe the information is inaccurate, they shouldn't be reporting it. So after your first letter, you give them their first opportunity to fix the information that's on your credit report that's inaccurate. Now this one goes directly to reporting information that is inaccurate. Okay. So you send a letter in, they're supposed to do the investigation. Once they do the investigation, they're supposed to know it's inaccurate or not. And if it's not fixed, this is what you use and you go to CFPB. Okay. Reporting information after notice and confirming of errors. A person shall not furnish information related to a consumer to any consumer reporting agency if the person has been notified by the consumer at the address specified by the person for such notices that specific information is inaccurate. And the information is in fact inaccurate. So if you go to the credit bureaus and tell them it's inaccurate and they tell the people, hey, this is inaccurate, can you check it? and they check it, so they check it supposedly, and then they report it again. Come on, man. You can't make this up. All right, let's bounce out of this. So that's dispute number 2. Way number 2, you can get your information off your credit report. All right. 15 USC 1681 IA5. Procedures. You remember we were talking about procedures earlier? Procedure in case of disputed accuracy. So if you dispute the accuracy, the company has to have a procedure in place to remove that information. So, treatment of inaccurate or unverifiable information. Okay? So in general, after any investigation under paragraph 1 of any information disputed by a consumer, an item of information is found to be inaccurate or incomplete, cannot be verified, the consumer reporting agency shall. Okay? And this one goes straight to the credit bureaus. They should promptly delete the item of information from the file of the consumer, or they have a chance to modify it. Right? And this is where a lot of people get hung up. And this is why being a credit repair expert really puts me in a different bracket than anybody else. If they modify that information, I'm still cool with it, because I'm going to use those other laws. I'm going to ask for the procedure. Okay? All right. So modify that information as appropriate based on the results of the reinvestigation. So some of you guys are going to come back and your information is going to be reinvestigated, and then they're going to modify it. Right? And then they got to promptly notify the furnisher of the information, that the information has been modified or deleted. So the credit bureaus is going to modify the information, or they're going to delete it if you say it's inaccurate. But then you'll come back over here and then you'll use these responsibilities of furnishers of information. And then you can ask for the compliance procedure. So no matter what, you can use these 3 in conjunction with each other, okay? But that's not all. Now, we kind of getting to the end. Now we got to write up our letter. So once you know which law you want to use and weaponize, now you got to write up your letter. Now, this is where you probably have to join our community, because everybody's situation is different. If you got a repo and it's in Texas, it's different than a repo in Florida. It's different from a repo in California. It's different from a repo in New York. You got student loans. It's different in every state. Collection is different in every state. You have to actually go to somebody that can help you find the information. So we have our community. Let me show you guys. All right, so we do have our community where we help everybody. We have our 9 cheat codes and our bonuses here. We actually have just created this community, and this community is very special to us. So if you wanted to join the community, I might drop a link. Like I said, I got a special gift for you guys. But I also want this video to get 1,000 likes. So if you made it all the way to the end, you wanted 1,000 people, please like the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get, I'm going to give you guys a huge discount. Now, this community is free, but the bonuses aren't. I'm going to give you a special code where you can get access to the bonuses for a heavily discounted price, okay? So with that being said, let's go back to the microboard. I hope you guys join the community. I'm going to put the link down below under this video, okay? Now, this community is going to help you write your letter. It's going to step by step give you the tools you need to succeed, okay? All right, so write up your letter. Get eyes on your new complaints. So I'm not going to go through it. I was going to go through this, but it might be too much. So CFPB, I don't know. If you're new to the channel, you need to watch the CFPB video. It's amazing, okay? So you just go here and then you do your complaint. BBB. BBB in your area, you can do a complaint on these companies. Now remember, you got to send a secret letter first. It ain't gonna work without a secret letter, or you can go to your attorney general. I'm in Florida right now. This is our attorney general in Florida, and she handled all the complaints that I send out from people in Florida. All right. Now remember, after you do all that stuff, CFPB, BBB, attorney general, remember you gotta still wait 30 days. You gotta wait 35 days, because if you don't wait 35 days, then you're gonna keep pushing back that time. I know you remember in the middle from the beginning, okay? And then now, results. Now, this is the important part, and this is why I wanted you to wait to the end. If your results don't come and you follow all the methods, then you've probably been violated. If your identity's been stolen, you've been violated. If you send off certain letters, you've probably been violated. We have to make sure. This is where it comes in, where if you don't get any results, you can come here. We partnered with this law firm right here for about a year now. Amazing people at Swift Law. The first time we ever ran into somebody who really wants to help the consumer. So as far as the areas of practice, consumer law, personal injury, or identity theft. If you're a victim of identity theft, just go here. It has to truly be identity theft. It can't be, hey, the government is after me. They steal my identity because my social security is not my social, or something like, weird stuff like that. Okay. And then consumer law, what you can expect from Swift Law, the answers to your questions. We work hand in hand with them, and they're excellent people. So credit reporting errors, background check errors, employment report errors, background report errors. So background check and background reports, mixed file. My brother and my dad had they got the same last name, stuff like that, or identity theft. You can come here and you can read more. If you join my community, I'll just send this information over to you. Okay. So without further ado, I'm glad you watched me go through all of this. It took me a while to figure out how to do this thing. This is actually dope. And without further ado, just follow the steps. If you need additional help, just be on the lookout. I'm gonna make additional videos. But if you join my community, me and Dave can help you there. We got videos for you to watch. And on these videos, we show you step by step what you should be doing and what you should be saying on your letters, okay? So without further ado, I'll see you on the next one. See you on the other side of good credit. Peace.